Good morning to all of you. I am very much thankful to everyone being here in today's lecture. So in the last lecture, we was completed one of the important article, and already we have started underwater concreting. So as far as concerned with the underwater concreting or underwater construction, it is the method by which we can place the concrete underwater environment. So while placing the concrete underwater, it is very difficult to place the concrete because in the nearby area there is a problem of the water, and due to the water the concrete may flow from its place. Okay, so it is very tedious job in case of the underwater concreting. So we have certain modern methodology by which we can do the underwater concreting. So in today's lecture we are going to talk about all the concerned methods by which we can do the underwater concrete. So underwater construction is an common in the civil engineering as well as the coastal engineering, then in the energy and the petroleum extraction industries. Okay, so as far as concerned with the civil engineering point of view, the construction below the water table is there and we have to admit the concrete for the constructions of dam, reservoir, canal, bridges and the coffer dams. Now as far as concerned with the coastal engineering point of view, we need to construct the harbors, docks, then breakwater, then stormwater and sewer outfalls, etc. near the coastal area. Now another domain where we required constructions underwater, that is the energy infrastructures. Okay, so in case of the inshore and offshore wind farms, then we need to construct the tidal power and the water power generations, that is we need to construct the hydroelectric power plant and the power station. Okay, and their intake nearby the dam. Then somewhere we need to extract the petrol. So in case of the, we need to construct certain marine wellhead and offshore and the subsea pipeline. Okay, so these are the area where we need to do the underwater concreting. So whatever may be the domain I have explained earlier, that is the civil engineering point of view, then coastal engineering point of view and the energy and petroleum extraction point of view. So everywhere we require the underwater concreting. Okay. Now I will share with all of you the today's presentation. So let me share our today's presentation. My voice is clear? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is a module 3. You can say these are the syllabus or articles in case of the module 3, and we have completed this RMC plant layout, production capacity, then types of concrete mixers in the last lectures, and we have already started the underwater concreting, okay. And these are also we seen in the last lecture, that is the machinery which is required to transport the concrete from the RMC plant up to your site, okay. Then we have started this particular article, that is the underwater concreting, and we are going to see in detail the process of underwater concreting, okay. So what do you mean by the underwater concreting? It is the technique by which you can do the work underwater. So for doing the underwater concreting, we need a extra care, or we need a very great care, we can say, because as far as concerned with the material point of view, a 50% cost of the total cost of the project, we required 50% of the cost for material, okay. So one of the important material is, that is the concrete. So we need to complete understanding behavior of the fluid, okay. So the hydrologic things is also important, and the material behavior is also important to study, because if we are going to pour the concrete in case of the water, so what will be happening, okay. So we should know the technique by which we can pour the water in case of the water, okay. So let us try to understand certain important aspect of the workability point of view in case of the underwater concreting. So before actual working in the underwater concreting, we should know certain workability aspect regarding about the concrete. So these are the key variables you should know as far as concerned with the workability of concrete. The water to fines ratio of the concrete, so that is the water cement ratio. Then the particle packing characteristics, okay. Then composition and the content of the cementinous materials, and the depression characteristics of the solid particle in the concrete. And when the placing concrete under water or the slurry through a prefabricated reinforcing steel case, the clear spacing between the steel bars should be at least 5 times the maximum nominal size of the coarse aggregate in the concrete. So as far as concerned with the workability plays an important role. So we must focus on the workability of the concrete while doing the underwater concrete. Okay. So these are the 5 key points you should remember. Then while doing the underwater concreting, we face a lot of problems. So these are the we will face while doing the underwater concreting. The first problem is segregation of fine aggregate from the coarse aggregate, okay. Segregation means the fine aggregate is separated from the coarse aggregate when it in contact with the water. So if the fine aggregate is separated from the coarse aggregate, you could not achieve a high dense concrete, okay. There will be a problem with the strength of the concrete, okay. So this is a major problem in case of the underwater concreting. So what precaution we should understand, or we should follow to avoid this segregation of the fine aggregate from the coarse aggregate? That is the important aspect, okay, we have to learn. Then the another thing is that the water pollution, okay. See, when we are going to work underwater, okay, so we should know the depth of the water, okay, from the bottom surface of that particular or bed surface of that particular, you can say, the constructions area, how much depth of the water should be there. And due to the storm water, okay, when the rainfall will occur on the earth surface, some water may percolate inside the water ground, okay, and some water may flows over the earth surface in the form of surface runoff. Okay, and certain you can say the industries are there which after processing in the industry, whatever may be the wastewater is generated from the urban area or from the industrial area, all the water they release or discharge into the river or nala. Okay, and due to that wastewater, the river water is also polluted. And while concreting in case of the bridge piers, okay, now if you want to construct a bridge pier, so there will be a problem of water pollution. Okay, so what is the reaction in between the polluted water while working under polluted water? Okay, so what kind what you problem you can face? The workability. Okay, so while working with the water polluted or the wastewater, there will be a problem. Then another problem underwater construction, that is the increased WC ratio. Okay, so ultimately while doing the underwater construction, the nearby water will mix with the concrete. So ultimately the design WC ratio is increases, and we have to maintain our design ratio, that is the WC ratio. So this is another challenges in front of us. Okay, to maintain the design WC ratio in a particular concrete, there is a chances of mixing of nearby water in a particular concrete, and due to which the design WC ratio will increases and the washout. Okay, now while pouring the concrete in the particular, you can say the underwater, there will be a possibility of the washout of the concrete from the pouring site. Okay, or from the bed. So generally these are the problem we are going to face underwater concreting, and we should or we need to take the care, extra care or greater care regarding about to avoid such problems. Okay, then certain limitations is there. We also seen in the last lecture these particular limitations. Okay, underwater construction. So in case of these situations, like I say basement, okay, if you want to construct a basement, okay, below the you can say the land surface, then in case of the sewerage systems and the marine ones, so under such situations there is a limitations of the working underwater. Okay, then the another limitations of underwater concreting is that during the placement underwater is difficult. Okay, then underwater concreting should have a slump of 100 to 180 mm. We have to maintain the slump value in between this range. This is the limitation. Then the water cement ratio should not exceed 0.6 and may need to be smaller. Okay, depending upon the grade of the concrete or the type of chemical attack. So the type of chemical attack means due to the wastewater. For aggregate of 40 mm maximum particle size, the cement shall be at least 350 kg per meter cube of the concrete. So this is again the limitations. We have to maintain in any way this particular specifications in case of the aggregate and the cement. Then for aggregate of 20 mm maximum particle size, the cement shall be at least 380 to 390 kg per meter cube of the concrete. So in 1 meter cube of the concrete, we have to use cement at least 380 to 390 kg, okay, per meter of the cube of the concrete. So underwater concreting, ultimately the cost of the cement will increase. See here, what is the demand we require? 380 to 390 kg of cement in per meter cube of the concrete. Then the wide content of the coarse aggregate should be kept as low as possible. Okay, so we should keep the whites ratio negligible. Okay, then and then only you can be say that the success of the underwater concreting. Otherwise, if the voids will come in the particular, you can say, the piers or any structure if you want to construct underwater. If the voids will come, then ultimately it will affect on the strength of the concrete. So we need to take extra care regarding about the voids. Okay. We know certain codes assumptions. So as per the codes IS 456-2000, a maximum voids content of 55%. Okay. So these are the limitations of the underwater concreting. Then in this particular module, or you can say the module, we are going to cover this particular topics. Okay. What do you mean by the underwater concreting? Then what are the various, you can say, the material we have to use and their specifications? Then what are the techniques available or the methods by which we can pour the water under water? Okay. Then we have the repair works and the conclusion parts. Okay. So these are the topic we will cover in the next slide. So in case of the introduction parts, we will cover these are the situations where we required underwater concreting, that is the basement. Okay. And also I was discussed in the beginning of our today's lecture, that is in case of the civil engineering, then energy, and then in case of the harbors and docks. So different types of the structure, offshore structures if you want to construct, then bridges and the marine works, everywhere near the coastal area, we are going to place the concrete underwater. Okay, for the constructions of such big project. So the great care or the precaution need to be taken whenever the concrete is to be placed underwater. The concrete should be plastic and cohesive, but should have good flowability. Okay. So this is very important term, that is we have to maintain the good flowability of the concrete. Okay. Then if you see here, these are the certain parameter which will affect the performance requirement for the underwater concreting, that is the workability and the self compactions. Okay. So we need to work on the workability and the self compactions. Okay. So we should thoroughly understand the how to maintain the workability and the self compactions of the concrete, which type of the ingredient we have to mix with the concrete, so as to we can achieve a greater strength while doing the underwater concreting. Then the cohesion against washout and the segregation. So cohesion and the segregation, these are the requirement, and we need to work more on these particular parameters. Then low heat of hydration, then control setting time. Okay. So while doing the underwater concreting, what should be the setting time? We need to calculate first. Then we need to check the compressive strength of the concrete block. Okay. And we require the adequate bond. So these are the general, you can say, the requirement for underwater concreting. Okay. So these are the parameter we need to take extra care, or we need to do the much work on this particular the requirement for underwater concreting. Then these are the problems already we have discussed. Okay. Then these are the general materials we have used in case of the underwater concreting, that is cement, coarse aggregate, fine aggregate, and the admixtures for you can say increasing the setting times or increasing the strength of the concrete. So we need to add certain admixtures. Okay. So as far as concerned with the cement in case of the underwater concreting, so these are the, you can say, the types of cement we need to use, that is the ordinary Portland cement, that is OPC. Then sulfate resisting Portland cement, SRPC, low head Portland cement, that is LHPC. Okay, so these are the a good cement we have to use in case of the underwater concrete. Then as far as concerned with the another ingredient of the concrete is the coarse aggregate. Now as far as concerned with the coarse aggregate specifications, if you see here, the coarse aggregate for concrete shall confirm the following gradation. Then we need to use the maximum size of the coarse aggregate in case of the manufacturing of the concrete for underwater, that is 1.5 to 2 inches, and shall pass through a 75 mmCUs. Okay, and the another minimum size material passing a 90 mmCU and shall not exceed 5% by mass of the coarse aggregate. So these are the you can say the specification we should the coarse aggregate. Now the another important specifications regarding about the fine aggregate, that is for the sand. Now these are the specification we should maintain. Now the fine aggregate, that is the sand passing through 1.18 mmCUs, and the percentage if you see here 95 to 100%. Okay, and if the sand passing through 600 microns CU, that is the 60 to 85%. Then passing through 300 microns CU, 20 to 45%. Passing through 150 microns CU, 15 to 30%, and passing through 75 microns CU, 0 to 10%. So these are the specification we follow in case of the fine aggregate to manufacture the concrete for underwater concrete. Then we use a certain kind of the admixture for increasing the setting time and increasing the strength of the concrete. So the important anti-washout admixtures, okay, the washout problem will be there, and to minimize the washout problem, we need to add certain anti-washout admixtures. The first one is Hydrosem and Melose. So these are the admixtures. Generally, these are the name, and these are readily available in the market. So the thing is that we need to add this particular admixture in the concrete. So we need to again work what proportion should we need to add this particular anti-washout admixtures. We need to again do the study. Then another important admixtures to increase the to decrease the viscosity. Okay, so these are the two admixtures we need to use in case of the concrete. Okay, naphthalene formaldehyde and sulfonated melamine formaldehyde. So again, these are the admixtures is readily available in the market. We have to purchase and mix it with the concrete. Now the important aspect of the today's lecture is that what are the various methods by which we can do the underwater concrete. So these are the four methods by which we can do the underwater concreting. Okay. So the first method is Treme method. Okay. The second method is bucket placing. Then the third method is placing gunny bags, and the fourth method is pre-pack concrete. Then we have again another method, that is the directly pumping method is there. Concrete pumping method is there. 5 types of the if you talk about the types of concrete, that is the directly pumping method. So by which we can do the underwater concreting. Now we will start how the concreting is done with the help of first method, that is the Treme methods. Okay. Now, if you see here, Trami is the name is given for a pipe. Okay, Trami means a pipe which is having the certain diameter, which is having certain diameter, length. Okay, and a special arrangement will be there. So let us try to understand how the concreting is going on with the help of Trami methods. Okay. So this type of method on how to place concrete under water, this method plays a big role in case of the offshore concreting. Okay, because in the coastal area, if you see, the cement loss it loses its strength, and it will flow from the water. So if you use this type of method for underwater concreting, then it will give us more advantages. Okay, so this is a common method by which we can do the underwater concreting. Okay, so how the underwater concreting is done with the help of this particular Trami method, we will discuss. Okay, so before discussing that, we should understand certain working principle. Okay, with the help of Trami method, what are the you can say the assembly which is required to work with the help of this type of method. It require a Trami means a pipe. Okay, one funnel will be there. We have to keep the funnel on the top portion of the pipe, and one seat is required at the bottom, and that bottom portion is immersed under water with the help of the gravity. Now let us try to understand the exact certain things in case of the Trami method. A Trami is a watertight pipe. Okay, generally 250 mm in diameter. Generally 250 mm in diameter, but basically it is available as per the requirement of the construction, that is 200 mm to 300 mm. Then we again require the funnel shape hopper, and we need to keep this funnel shape at its upper part, and again we do at the bottom. So one funnel we have to keep at the upper part of that pipe, and we need to plug the bottom side of that pipe. Then it is supported on the working platform above the water level. So we should make a working platform to you can say stand all the workers on that platform for the concreting purpose. So such arrangement we need to do in case of the Trami methods. Okay, so these are the things we require. Now let us talk about certain specification of concrete to be used in case of the Trami methods. Okay, so while concreting underwater, these are the specification we should use in case of the Trami methods. Okay, so these are the specifications. Now, if you see the coarse aggregate, gravel of 3 by 4 inch, that is 20 mm maximum size. Okay, so we need to 20 mm maximum size aggregate, coarse aggregate. Use 50 to 55% of total aggregate by weight. Okay, so by the weight of the concrete, we need to add the coarse aggregate 50 to 55%. Then as far as concerned with the fine sand, the fine sand should be 45 to 50% of the total aggregate by weight. Okay. Then as far as concerned with the water cement ratio, we have to maintain the water cement ratio 0.242 and the maximum up to the 0.45. So generally we have to maintain the water cement ratio 0.42. Then water reducing admixtures, particularly the plasticizers. Okay, do not use the super plasticizers. Then in case of the anti-environment admixtures, the total use 6% total air. Okay, then the another admixture that is known as the retarding admixtures. Now these retarding admixtures to increase the setting time to 4 to 24 hours as required. Okay, and we have to maintain the slump value 6 to 6 into 1.5 inch plus minus 1 inch. Okay, so generally 6.5 inch slump value we have to maintain. And the specification of the concrete which are going to be used in case of the underwater concreting, in case of the Drummy methods, that is, this mix will develop compressive strength in the range of 3.86 into 10 raised to power 7 to 4.82 into 10 raised to power 7 Newton per meter square at 28 days. Okay, so this is the compressive strength of the concrete we have to maintain at 28 days of the cube curing. Okay, so these are the specifications of the concrete we need to maintain in case of the underwater concrete. Now let us try to understand the working principle, how it will work. Okay, now see here. Now if you want to pour the concrete, let us try to understand this diagram. So if you see here, this is a water depth, this is a bed of the particular water body. Okay, now this is a depth, total depth of water. Now here this is a free water surface. Then this is a drummy. Drummy means a steel pipe which is having 200 mm in diameter or 250 mm diameter. Generally we are going to use 250 mm diameter drummy. Drummy means a steel pipe. Okay, so from this up to this is a drummy, that is the steel pipe. Then this is a cantilever working platform. On this particular platform, two 2 by 12 inches. Okay, this is a working platform. Now the worker is standing at this point. Okay, now if you want to add the concrete from this particular steel pipe, that is the drummy, we need to add again, or we need to keep the funnel at the upper end of this particular drummy. Okay, now the lower end, if you see here, so again we need to add this platform. This is a, you can say, the formwork, that is the steel formwork, from the bottom up to the certain portion is above up to the water free water surface. So this is a steel formwork we need to add. Then the actual concreting is starting. So the care should be taken in case of the concreting, that is, while doing the concreting, firstly the inner portion or the end point of this seal. Okay, but whenever you add the concrete from the funnel, okay, so the continuous concreting, pouring of concreting through the funnel is required, the continuous. Okay, up to the free end. If the continue is breaking in case of the concrete pouring, then there will be a chances of voids come into the working area. If the continue process is not you maintain, so certain voids will come in the particular area, and you will be get the not a homogeneous concrete, and you cannot achieve your strength. So the continuous process is going on up to the above the free water surface, up to this particular end. So in this method it is done by the placing pipe, one end in the water and one outside. Okay, the pipe has a funnel shape hopper at the one end and loose plug at the other end. The plug is used to dewater the pipe and control supply of concrete. So this is a particular assembly we require to do the underwater concreting with the help of Drummy methods. Okay. Now let us try to understand the whole assembly, and this is a particular locations, actual locations on the site. So this is a drummy pipe, okay, 250 mm in diameter. Now this is a, you can say the modern methods by which we can do the underwater concreting. Now you can insert this particular drummy or pipe underwater with the help of the compress air, okay. So again we required a compressor to compress this particular pipe into the water up to the required depth. Then we need to keep this particular funnel on the top portion of this pipe. Then funnel, the weight of the funnel is pick up with the help of this particular the crane. Okay, so we again require this particular machinery, that is the crane, to hold this particular funnel at a proper positions. Then again we require this channel. Okay, so this is a channel, or you can say the belt conveyor. The continuous concreting is going on through this particular channel. Okay, so at this particular locations we have to pour the concrete, and the concrete is coming in the funnel, and we again required the platform. So this is a modern platform. So again this is another machinery, you can say the JCB. So this is a workers is standing on this particular platform to see the situations, or see the working is going on in a right way. So before concreting, air and water must be excluded, keeping the pipe full of the concrete at all time. For this, the funnel and the pipe should have equal capacity. Firstly, the plug is inserted in the pipe with the pressure of fresh concrete so that the air is removed. So this is a, you can say in this particular picture, how the working is going on in case of the underwater. Now if you see here, again the another pictures in this particular slide with the help of Trummy methods. Now if you talk about the procedure of Trummy method, in this method a Trummy pipe is inserted in the water up to the point where concrete is going to be placed. Generally the diameter we have to maintain from 200 to 300 mm or 20 to 30 centimeter, and generally we have to use 250 mm diameter pipe. Depending upon the depth of the concrete underwater, we can add more trummy, okay, depending upon the depth. So one trummy or another, if you required as per the situations, so we can add more trummy pipe by coupling it with the one another. Okay, so we can couple all the trummy with each other for fast work. Then before inserting the trummy pipe into the water, the bottom end of the trummy pipe must be closed, okay, with a plug or a thick polythene sheet or their suitable material, okay, suitable materials. Then after trummy pipe reaches at the desired depth, okay, so whatever may be the desired depth is there, after reaches the trummy pipe at a desired depth, a funnel is fitted at the top portion of the trummy pipe, okay. So here we have to need to facilitate pouring of the concrete through the funnel. The concrete have a very high slump value, 150 to 200 mm slump value we need to keep into the funnel, okay, until the whole length of the trummy pipe is filled up to the concrete. So the process is going on up to the whole length of the pipe is going to fill up to this particular height. Then the trummy pipe is lifted up and given a slight jerk by winch or pulley arrangement due to the application of jerk and weight of the concrete get discharged. Okay, so we need to again do certain jerk so as to the compaction will be good in case of the from the bottom up to the top of this particular trummy. Then at this stage, we should note that at this stage, make sure that the end of the trummy remains inside the concrete, because this will prevent entering of the water into the pipe from the bottom. When all the concrete inside the pipe get discharged, the trummy pipe is again completed, filled with the concrete, and the process is repeated. Now this process of filling and discharging of concrete is repeated without any interruptions, okay, till the concrete level come above the free water surface. Now we should understand in case of the trummy method certain tips. No compaction is required for underwater concreting, as concrete gets compacted by hydrostatic pressure of water, okay. So due to the hydrostatic pressure, the compaction of the concrete is already done with the help of this hydrostatic pressure. Then the pumping of water should not be allowed while concreting, because it may suck cement particle from the concrete, okay. So these things we should know while doing the underwater concreting, okay. So at this stage, look at the video how the underwater concreting is going on. So before playing this video, I need to, you can say, play with the help of this particular video. I need to play with sound, okay. So in this video, if you see here, this is a funnel, okay, and the funnel is attached with this particular assembly, okay, to hold the load of this particular funnel, and these are the water, okay. Now this is a trummy pipe, okay. The trummy pipe is inserted into the water up to the depth, okay. Whatever may be the depth, we can do the concreting. We need to insert that particular pipe up to that depth, and then we need to add the concrete through this particular funnel until it is come up to the particular you can say the top of this particular pipe. So this is how we can do the underwater concreting, and I will say that this is a very good method, and this method, Trami method, is adopted for each and every. This is most common method for underwater concreting in every project. The project at the seashore, or the project, you can say the marine project will be there. Then for any type of underwater concreting, this method is going to be proved very efficient method, more advantageous method as compared to other methods. So this is about how the working is going on with the help of Trami methods. So we have completed one method by which we can do the underwater concreting. Now the another portion of the today's lecture is that the questions and answer. Okay. So I will ask the first question. Okay. The first question is that here, which method is not in a common use in case of placing concrete underwater? So grouting, so is most common. Okay, so this question is in the next lecture. So which method is in most common use? So which method is in most, you can say, the common use in case of the placing underwater? So tell me which method. Anybody unmute and tell me.
Trami method, sir.
Okay. Now I request you, please read the second question and tell me the answer. Okay. From whole class.
250 mm. 250, sir.
250.
No. Read the question first. Read all the options and tell me the correct answer. Okay. Read first the question, second question. Anybody take the lead and read the second question? Anybody from the class? Don't take that much time, okay? Take a lead and tell me the correct answer. Read the question. Prathamesh is there? Prathamesh? Kunal? Anybody?
Yes,
read the second question and tell me correct answer. Read.
diameter of pipe used in Trami method is 150 mm.
Which is the correct one? Which option is correct?
250 mm, sir.
Okay, 250 mm. Now you read. Okay, third question. Read the third question. Read the third question. Read immediately. Don't take so much of the time. Kunal?
Water cement ratio maintained in underwater construction is
So tell me the answer.
0.42, sir.
Okay, 0.40 is correct. 0.40. Okay. So these are the, you can say, the assignment we have completed for the objective type questions. Which method is in common use? for the placing of concrete, Trummy method. Diameter of pipe which is used in case of the Trummy method is 250 mm. Water cement ratio we need to maintain in underwater construction is 0.42. So this is about the today's poll. Okay, if anybody having any, this is a open platform everyone to discuss certain issues regarding about this particular method. Anybody is having any doubt? Yes or no? Tell me. Kunal, Vishakha is there? Vishakha,
Yes, sir.
is there any doubt, any problem?
No, sir.
Rasika, Sachin Chauhan.
No doubt, sir.
Okay, so today we will stop here.